Now, one of you sent me this clip, and it is honestly hilarious, okay? It is absolutely hilarious. Now, in this clip, we have Cenk Uygur getting interviewed, and the premise of the interview is basically, is Trump a fascist, right? Because, of course, you know, liberals and the left, including Cenk, they like to call Trump fascist this, fascist that, you know, the whole nine. And he gets called out on it, and he has to explain... I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about the video right now. I'm just going to jump straight into it. All right. Let's dive in.
So you don't call Trump Hitler and you don't call the Republicans Nazis. But when you say the word fascist, as you say, the meaning of that word has been eroded. That's where most people's minds is going to go, right?
So what do you guys tell me, what should I call his obvious dictatorial tendencies? And his obvious over-the-top racism.
You know what? Actually, this is a really great question, because what I'd love for you to do is, and this is a genuine question, I'm not trying to catch you out or anything like that. I genuinely am interested. I have heard a lot of rhetoric from people about Donald Trump and the concerns that they have about the next 4 years. And, you know, people use words like fascist, dictatorial, etc. What do you fear over the next 4 years he is going to do that makes you say in the present moment that he's dictatorial, fascist? What is he going to do you think?
Yeah. So again, I don't know that he's going to do it because there's countervailing forces.
What do you fear?
And I think the countervailing forces are super interesting, and we should talk about that. Yeah. And I'm really interested to see which way the right wing goes in this country under Trump. But the worst case scenario is he gets frazzled and feels challenged, and he falls back on what he always does, which is just protect his ego. And so he starts pilfering, and that's very much in his nature. Grab, take, because now there's no accountability. What are you going to do, impeach him? What are you going to do, arrest him? No accountability, there's no brakes in the car. So we're all at his mercy.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is important for clarity. What do you mean by pilfering? He's going to be pilfering and pilfering.
Okay, so easy examples, but there's a million of these. He puts Jared Kushner in charge of the Middle East last time around, and Saudi Arabia. Jared Kushner at some point goes to Saudi Arabia, talks to Mohammed bin Salman, and right afterwards, Mohammed bin Salman arrests a whole bunch of people. Okay, I don't want to get too much into what happened in that meeting and what the results were, but whatever it was, Mohammed bin Salman was super pleased because right after the election, he gives Jared Kushner $2 billion to manage, but he gets 2 and 20 on that. So if you know private equity and how that works, what that means is he's going to make hundreds of millions of dollars. So if Hunter Biden got a $2 billion deal from the Saudis after Joe Biden left office, I was like, Hunter Biden's not a Ukrainian gas expert. That's nuts. Okay. And that was $5 million.
So your fear number one is that his family will benefit financially from his president, and him will benefit financially. What else?
His donors, most of all his donors.
And his donors.
What else?
Okay, so that's, but to be fair to Trump, like part of the reason the establishment.
Oh my goodness, his family's gonna make a couple of dollars. He's a fascist. Meanwhile, Trump is literally the only president in recent history whose net worth actually dropped while he was president. So were all of these other presidents, was Barack Obama, Joe Biden, the Bush, were they all fascists? Because they made money. Their net worths increased while they were president. Trump was the only one whose net worth decreased the first time he was president. And he didn't even take a presidential salary. He donated it. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You cannot make this stuff up. That's why I found this clip so hilarious, watching him have to explain how and why Trump is a fascist. It's hilarious. Let's keep going.
Everyone hates him is because he's systemically and personally corrupt, whereas they're just largely. So but to be fair to Trump, part of the reason the establishment hates him is because he's systemically and personally corrupt, whereas they're just largely systemically corrupt.
I'm accepting all this for the sake of argument without challenging, because I just want you to get to the real fascism that he's going to do that you worry
So the
about.
reason I'm saying that is because since most of the politicians are systemically corrupt anyway, that's not the fascism
That's
I'm
my
referring
point.
to.
Yeah. So where's the fascism?
So he says, I'm going to deport all the undocumented immigrants. So some people might say, yeah, good. Rip them out of their homes, 13, 15 million people, whatever it is. Oh, they're running a diner. They're beloved in their neighborhood. They married an American citizen. Whatever they did, I don't care. And, oh, their kids are American citizens. Rip them away from their babies and send them the goddamn back home.
Yep. And that's another point. Well, the kids are American citizens. Get rid of birthright citizenship. Please. ASAP. Tomorrow. Yesterday, matter of fact. Get rid of that. That is crazy to me that illegals are allowed to come to this country, have a child, and the child is now a citizen? Like, that don't even sound right. Like, we're rewarding people for breaking into the country? It's crazy. It's crazy. Get rid of that.
Now, that's a debatable point as to whether that's fascism. My guess is that if he starts doing it, and you start seeing people ripped out of their homes, that people are going to go, oh, that don't look good.
I don't think he's going to do that.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're going to find out. He might not. We're going to find out.
But
okay?
if he was to, let's say, I think the more likely scenario, I don't know if you agree with Jeng, but I think it's possible that this is the more likely scenario, is he deports all the people who've committed a crime in this country who are illegal immigrants, right? People not only came here illegally, but have committed a crime, and people who don't have American family and don't have dependents here. Let's say he was to deport all those people. Would that be fascism in your view?
I don't even know if he deported all the undocumented immigrants, it would be fascism. I'm not even stipulating to that.
Okay, so let's get to the fascism, though.
So if you don't even know if it would be fascism, why'd you bring it up? See, he's just grasping at straws at this point. Oh, and full disclosure, this video is from like 11 months ago. So if you hear them talk like, oh, well, maybe he will or maybe he won't, it's because this specific clip is from 11 months ago. Just full disclosure, just for anybody who was like confused as to why they were saying, well, maybe he will do this or maybe he won't do that. It's because it's from 11 months ago, if I remember correctly. So let's keep going.
This is what I want to get to, right?
And by the way, people who committed crimes should obviously be deported.
Right.
No one disagrees with that. So then the thing that I'm concerned about is both him and the potential attorney general saying, if you're on a campus and you're protesting Trump, you're protesting Israel, you're protesting the oil companies, you're protesting something we don't like, arrest and deport you. Wait, what happened to cancel culture? I mean, arresting someone for protesting or voicing their speech is the most both cancel culture you could do. I mean, you're taking the guy's freedom away, right?
Yeah, agreed. But
deporting people that are American citizens.
Well,
what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, you can't do that. But did he do any of that in his first term?
So he didn't do that. Okay. But so, and that's why I say, guys, when he's running, he threatens to do total complete shutdown of Muslims. Yeah. He threatens to arrest and deport people, etc. But he didn't necessarily do it. So for example, they said, lock her up. And then he got into office and he said, no, I'm not locking Hillary Clinton up. So I have an open mind. But when he threatens those type of things, I go, I am deeply, deeply concerned. Now, here's other things.
Okay.
So they had a 3-hour meeting after he lost the election where Michael Flynn and I believe Sidney Powell, don't quote me on that, I don't want to get sued, okay, but definitely Michael Flynn said, let's use martial law. Let's roll out the tanks, okay? And we won this election and we're going to correct the fraud and let's go grab the actual ballot machines, okay? And Trump was like, okay, now I'm listening. Now we're having a conversation. And that's why it lasted 3 hours.
So at
the end, hold on.
No, hold on. You're talking about something that already happened. I'm asking you about the future. Let's just stick with that.
No, but that's totally relevant.
No, well, I'm sure, which is why I'm asking you the question to follow up. So do you fear that at the end of this 4-year period, he's not going to relinquish power? Is that what you're saying?
So since he didn't relinquish power last time, yes.
Well, ultimately he did, but you fear...
Oh, come on, guys.
Fine, let's accept that for the sake of argument again. So you fear that at the end of this 4-year period, when he can no longer run for election again, you fear that he will not hand over the presidency.
A guy who said, let's terminate the Constitution, considered martial law, and had a fake elector plot to steal an election, might he try to stay in power? Of course, he tried to do it once.
Well, that's good. So we got to. So you fear that at the end of this 4-year period, he will not vacate the White House.
That is one of my concerns, absolutely, and that alone is a deal breaker.
Well, it'd be a deal breaker for anyone, left and right, no question.
Except it wasn't, because he already tried to do it, and the right was like, no big deal, no big deal.
I don't think that's
It was
quite,
a giant deal.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite true. But anyway, that's your big concern.
So that's number one. Number two is, the reason I was telling you about martial law is because he's also said, let's use the military to shoot the protesters in the legs. Let's use the National Guard to arrest citizens, etc. When you're talking about arresting or shooting U.S. citizens, and you using the military to do that, because you don't like their protests, and you could be livid about their protests. It doesn't matter.
Sure, it's
we have a right to protest.
Of course.
And when he says that, and he has definitively said that and said it on the record, if you go and do that, now that there are no brakes in the car, and there is no General Milley, and there is no General Kelly, and they're not going to be able to stop him. If he does that, do you guys agree that would be fascism?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
So your great concerns are just, to replay it for people, and then I'll hand over to Francis, are, number one, at the end of the 4-year term that he currently has, he's not going to hand over the presidency, number one. And number two, he is going to be deeply un-American about the way he handles free speech and the right to protest and the right to free assembly. In other words, he will take protesters and strip them of citizenship. He will have the army shoot them. He will imprison people for turning up on a college campus and burning an American flag, let's say. Those are your two main kind of this is the fascism that might happen. Have I got you right?
That's right. And I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen.
But that's
I'm
your
saying
concern.
he has said those things.
That's your concern.
And it makes me concerned that he will do those things.
Okay.
So let's bust this down. Let's address this, right? So he was concerned about freedom of speech. So was he concerned about freedom of speech when the Biden administration was contacting social media, including this very platform right here, which they admitted under oath that the Biden administration contacted them to censor conservatives? Was Cenk calling the Biden administration fascist? Was he calling the former heads of Twitter, now known as X, right? Was he calling them fascists for censoring conservatives, and the Biden administration for contacting them to try to censor conservatives? Was that an issue? And the other thing, well he's not going to leave office, bro. I'm so sick of these folks talking about, well Trump tried to take over the government, bro. At the end of the day, when it came time for Trump to leave, we all know what happened. He left. Did he make a little bit of an argument? Sure. And rightfully so. But the bottom line is this: when it came time to leave, he left. So what are we even talking about here? What are we talking about? This man is so concerned with Trump not leaving office and Trump being against freedom of speech, but he was never concerned with the Biden administration mainstream media colluding along with other Democrat politicians, lying about Joe Biden's health, including his cancer diagnosis. Don't tell me that they just found out, after the election about his cancer diagnosis. Like, hell no. No. I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. You understand me? So I'm not going to sit here and believe, oh, well, we just found out. Like, no, you didn't. Joe Biden has the best doctors on this planet. They didn't just find out about this man's cancer. Now, I hope that he has recovered. I heard that he did some kind of treatment for his cancer, and he went through it successfully. I hope he recovers well and the cancer is completely gone and it never returns. But don't play me like that. Well, do you think Cenk was concerned when the Biden administration and all these folks, the Democrats and mainstream media, were lying to us about Joe Biden's health? He's tripping over sandbags, couldn't even read a teleprompter, wandering off like a lost puppy. Barack Obama's having to guide him off the stage because he's frozen in time. He's like a deer in headlights on stage. Was he concerned with them lying straight to the American people's face? Of course not. Because as long as a Democrat does it, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Here's the perfect example. We all know what Nancy Pelosi is doing. Everybody knows. Everybody knows you don't go from making $174,000 a year, less than $200,000, which don't get me wrong, is some good money. You don't go from that to being to your net worth being over $100 million. Explain that to me. Explain it. If anybody can connect those two dots for me in a legal fashion, let me know in the comments right now. She's made $174,000 a year. Her net worth is over $100 million. Explain to me how that even makes sense. Explain it. Anybody, please. Can anybody explain it? But she's a Democrat. Now, I guarantee you, if Trump were to do something like that, oh no, it's the end of the world. He's a fascist. He's using the government to enrich himself. How dare he? I mean, you heard Chang say, well, his family is going to enrich themselves. His family is going to benefit. Well, why haven't you said anything about Nancy Pelosi? Amongst the other politicians that are doing it as well. Nancy Pelosi is just the most famous one. She's the most egregious. Can anybody explain that? Only way that I can is it's cool if a Democrat does it, but it's a problem if a Republican or especially Uncle Trump does it. Even when he might do it, it's a problem. Oh my goodness, he might censor freedom of speech. Well, Joe Biden's administration actually did. That's a fact. That's not debatable. Like there's no debating on that. We know. We know. We have the Twitter. We have the X-Files. We have YouTube under oath. Like we have all the information. This isn't debatable. But he ain't got no problem with that. And this is why I don't take these Democrats and these liberals serious. That's why I don't take them serious. When they say something, it goes in one ear and out the other for me. Don't listen. Don't give a I don't care. Sometimes, sometimes I wish Uncle Trump would, one, repeat some of the same lines that these Democrats have said, right? Like sometimes, for example, I wish Trump would get on national television and say, hey, listen, guys, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me in the Republican Party or those liberals, then you ain't black. I wish he would say that. I wish he would. Repeat some of the same stuff that these liberals have said. In that case, it was Joe Biden. Everybody saw it. Everybody heard it. Did the mainstream media bat an eye at it? Nope. Why? Democrat. Did Cenk Uygur say anything about it? Not that I heard. I didn't hear a single peep. Maybe he did. I didn't hear it. If y'all have it, then let me know in the comments. But I didn't hear mainstream media make a peep about it. Why? Because he's a Democrat. Now, I can guarantee you, if Trump said it, oh my goodness. How dare Trump say such a racist statement like that? That is so racist. Oh my goodness. It would be the end of the world. But they said nothing when Joe Biden said it. Let the Trump administration contact social media to censor liberals. Oh my goodness. See, we knew it. The dictator is here. Oh my goodness. When Joe Biden did it, nobody said anything. As a matter of fact, people clapped and cheered. I was combining clapped and cheered into one word, chapped and cheered. People clapped and cheered when a sitting president was kicked off of social media. That was perfectly fine. Oh, but you let Trump do something like that, contact social media to have a sitting president kicked off of social media or liberals kicked off of social media. Oh, it's the end of the world. Dictator Trump is here. He's taking over. These people are absolutely ridiculous, man. But anyway, y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this. All right. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.